December 6, 2025, a date that will be etched into the memory of a generation. As the first light of dawn breaks over Taipei, the city stirs, unaware that everything is about to change. Suddenly, the world wakes to the piercing sound of sirens echoing across Taipei. The city's usual morning routine is shattered by a sense of dread and confusion. Emergency alerts flash across millions of phones, their shrill tones cutting through the silence. People everywhere, at home, at work, on the street, pause, staring at their screens in disbelief as the warnings spread like wildfire. The unthinkable is unfolding before the world's eyes. Massive Chinese military movements are detected in the Taiwan Strait. Satellite images reveal an armada of amphibious assault ships and warships assembling along China's coast. This time, it's not a drill, not a show of force. This is the real thing. The line between military exercise and outright attack has disappeared, leaving no room for doubt. In Washington, the White House is thrown into chaos. The president, surrounded by top advisors, is on secure calls with leaders in Tokyo, Seoul, and Canberra, urgently coordinating a response. The stakes have never been higher. The question on everyone's mind: has China already begun its move? U.S. military planners who have spent decades preparing for this very scenario now face the ultimate test. Reports flood in. Taiwan's government websites are suddenly offline, communications networks are failing, and critical infrastructure is under attack. Sophisticated cyber attacks are crippling the island's ability to respond, sowing confusion and panic. Meanwhile, ballistic missiles are being readied on the Chinese mainland, their targets clear: Taiwan's airfields, radar installations, and command centers. The strategy is ruthless. Blind Taiwan's defenses, paralyze its response, and pave the way for an invasion before the world can react. For Taiwan's 23 million citizens, the threat is no longer distant or abstract. Families scramble for safety, rushing into underground shelters as air raid sirens wail. Reservists, many of them ordinary men and women, don their uniforms and report for duty. Fighter jets thunder into the sky, a desperate show of resistance against overwhelming odds. The calm of a Saturday morning is shattered, replaced by the tense energy of a nation on the brink. Soldiers take up defensive positions, their faces set with grim determination. For years they have trained for this moment, always hoping it would never arrive. Now they must put everything on the line to defend their home. Across the world, newsrooms broadcast live feeds, and anxious civilians watch events unfold in real time. The courage of Taiwan's defenders becomes the final barrier between democracy and invasion. Every decision, every action in these critical hours will shape not just the future of Taiwan, but the course of the entire century. The time for diplomacy is slipping away. Empty conference rooms and abandoned negotiation tables are replaced by the cold logic of military strategy. The world witnesses a high-tech assault, with missile launches and air defense systems lighting up the night sky. For Taiwan, this is a fight for survival, a battle that is anything but a distant geopolitical contest. The next move could change the course of history. The fate of the Indo-Pacific, and perhaps the world, hangs in the balance. As the globe turns its eyes to Taiwan, the decisions made in these moments will echo for generations to come. This is the first real test of a new era in military strategy, one that could shape the balance of power in the Indo-Pacific for decades to come. At the heart of this approach is the U.S. Iron Wall strategy, a doctrine designed to deter aggression before it even begins. Its central goal is simple but ambitious: make any potential Chinese invasion of Taiwan so costly, so fraught with risk and uncertainty, that Beijing never dares to try. The Iron Wall is not just about defense, it's about raising the price of conflict to an unbearable level. This means overwhelming firepower and readiness, with advanced weaponry and forces already in place long before any shots are fired. Pre-positioned assets, integrated allied networks, and a dense web of sensors and shooters transform the region into a formidable kill zone for any would-be invader. Every movement is tracked, every threat anticipated. Gone are the days of relying solely on massive, vulnerable aircraft carriers. Now, distributed lethality is the new norm. Hundreds of mobile missile platforms, stealthy unmanned submarines, and agile batteries form a flexible, unpredictable backbone. If one node is destroyed, hundreds more remain active, ensuring the network's survival and continued resistance. This redundancy is key to enduring any sustained attack. The Iron Wall is engineered for resilience and persistence, with constant drills, rapid repairs, and hardened defenses that can withstand repeated assaults. Crucially, this is not just an American effort. Japan, Australia, and the Philippines are fully committed, bringing their own capabilities and resolve to the table. Shared intelligence, joint bases, and a unified commitment make this a truly allied plan, with seamless cooperation at every level. Cutting-edge technologies, hypersonic missiles, AI-driven battle management, and coordinated drone swarms are at the core of this strategy, enabling rapid response and overwhelming force. The message to any aggressor is unmistakable: attack Taiwan, and you will face the combined might of the entire Indo-Pacific alliance, acting as one. The Iron Wall is deterrence through unity, technological superiority, and the promise of overwhelming, coordinated response. Its ultimate success depends on maintaining a united front, one that signals unwavering resolve and collective strength to any who might challenge the peace. The Iron Wall's first and most crucial line of defense is information, gathered, analyzed, and acted upon in real time. A vast, interconnected sensor network stretches from satellites high above the Earth to sensor arrays anchored deep on the ocean floor, monitoring every movement across land, sea, and air. Drones patrol the skies day and night, while submarines and unmanned underwater vehicles listen for the faintest sounds below the waves. Radar stations, positioned across the region, link together to form a web of constant surveillance. At the heart of this network, advanced AI-powered command systems sift through terabytes of incoming data every second, rapidly identifying potential threats and instantly assigning the most effective response. Allied forces, including the United States, Japan, Taiwan, and other regional partners, coordinate seamlessly, sharing intelligence and executing joint operations in real time. When a threat is detected, long-range missiles from hidden launchers strike first, followed by coordinated attacks from submarines lurking beneath the waves and warships positioned at sea. Any invader that manages to survive this initial onslaught must then face Taiwan's own formidable defenses. Missiles, attack helicopters, and powerful coastal artillery, all ready to respond at a moment's notice. The strategy is clear: attrit the invasion force at every possible step, inflicting maximum damage and denying the enemy any chance to establish a beachhead. This layered AI-driven defense network reacts with a speed and precision that no human command could ever match, ensuring that every threat is met with an immediate and calculated response. The Alliance's eyes and ears never blink. They are always watching, always listening, and always ready. Early warning systems buy precious time, allowing defenders to prepare, mobilize, and strike back before the enemy can gain a foothold. The true strength of the Iron Wall lies in its seamless, relentless vigilance, a network that never sleeps, ensuring the Alliance is always one step ahead of any threat. Taiwan's porcupine strategy is asymmetric warfare: make invasion too painful to attempt. Mobile missile launchers hide in tunnels and forests, ready to strike after the first wave. Drones swarm for surveillance and attack, overwhelming enemy defenses. Fast attack boats and mini-subs harass invaders in coastal chaos. No single point of failure. Defense is distributed, mobile, and resilient. Reserve forces train for decentralized, independent action if command centers fall. Civilian readiness is part of the plan. Every town, every street, a potential stronghold. The message: even if China lands, it faces a nation ready to resist at every turn. Taiwan's defense is a whole-of-society effort. The porcupine's quills are everywhere. Building the Iron Wall risks provoking the very war it aims to prevent. US deployments are defensive, but Beijing may see a threat. Each side's moves, exercises, patrols, new weapons can trigger escalation. A single miscalculation, a collision at sea, could spiral out of control. Commanders must balance readiness with restraint, keeping hotlines open to avoid disaster. Sometimes holding back assets is wiser than showing strength. The danger isn't just military. Cyber and economic warfare loom. China could target US infrastructure. The US could respond with crippling sanctions. Escalation is hard to control once it starts. Leaders must find off-ramps, even as tensions rise. The nightmare: a conventional war escalating to nuclear conflict. The tightrope is real and perilous. Deterrence demands constant, careful calibration. Taiwan's defense is everyone's responsibility. The government stockpiles supplies and hardens infrastructure. Civil defense workshops teach first aid, radio use, and sheltering. Groups like Kuma Academy train civilians in crisis response. Annual drills are now realistic, building muscle memory for emergencies. Air raid shelters and alert systems are upgraded. The public is ready. Unity and resolve are growing. Taiwan's resilience signals to Beijing. Invasion means fighting 23 million determined people. Civilian resistance raises the cost of occupation. Democracy itself becomes a defensive asset. The island spirit is unbreakable. War over Taiwan would be a human catastrophe. Civilians would suffer first. Missile strikes on cities, families and shelters, hospitals overwhelmed. First responders would face chaos and impossible choices. Soldiers on both sides would endure brutal close-quarters combat. Urban warfare would mean high casualties, block by block. The Taiwan Strait's closure would shatter global supply chains, plunging the world into recession. US, Japanese, and Australian troops would be at risk. Families worldwide would wait in fear. The conflict would not be regional, it would be global. The human toll would be staggering. The cost would ripple far beyond the battlefield. The world cannot ignore the stakes. The price of failure is measured in lives. The tragedy would be felt everywhere. In crisis, commanders face agonizing choices: position assets close for effectiveness or far for safety. Rules of engagement: fire too soon, risk escalation; too late, risk loss. Alliance coordination is fraught. Will all partners act in unison? Political hesitation can create deadly delays. Every move risks escalation. Sink a carrier, trigger retaliation in new domains. The goal: win battles without spiraling into wider war. The burden is immense, the stakes existential. The Iron Wall is about preventing war, not fighting it. Its purpose: convince Beijing that invasion is too costly to attempt. Deterrence relies on strength, unity, and clear resolve. Alliances must be maintained. Any sign of disunity invites risk. Each ally must decide its own role. Nothing is automatic. Diplomacy and global cooperation are as vital as military might. The balance: strong but not provocative, ready but always seeking peace. The Iron Wall's true power is in never being used. Peace demands vigilance and unity. The best wars are those never fought.